Hey everybody, how are you? Listen, I've got some things I want to get off my chest about nuclear power. But before I do, I do want to just say how honored I am, to be here talking to you at the University of Colorado. This means a lot to me to be here. Also to be on the bill with my brother Johnny Beehner, who's one of the comedians you're going to see a little bit later. Yeah, and then uh, Mary Beth Osnes, of course, who's one of the professors that put this whole thing together. She's actually my aunt. She got me interested in performing, and when I was a kid. So shout out to her. And then, of course, my dad, who's no longer with us, he switched to the Colorado State Zoom show that's happening right now. Jokes against gerrymandering. He feels that's, I guess, a more pressing issue than climate change, which is weird because, as a kid, my dad always used to say to us, it's great. We're so lucky that we get to grow up in America and, do whatever we want, but just, make sure whatever you do that you do it with nuclear energy because it's so safe and efficient, which I always tried to apply as a 9-year-old. But then, as the life would have it, you grow up, you get older, you start seeing the world differently. And, if you know me, I kind of became the black sheep of the family, kind of a renegade. You probably don't notice I have kind of a renegade look about me. So I am now vehemently opposed to nuclear energy with a passion. But it's the kind of passion that I haven't done anything about it or done any research or asked anyone any questions about it. But when I signed up for this show, though, we all got paired with a group of students who are environmental scientists, and they were a little distraught when they heard my views on nuclear power. I should say my view. It's just the one view that but in talking to my team of scientists, I was made aware that it's kind of great. The first thing that anti-nuclear power advocates think of when they think of nuclear power is nuclear waste, right? That's one of the big issues. Sure, it's nice that you can make a Thanksgiving dinner for 62 people in 2.3 seconds, but what about all the nuclear waste we're making? And I was under the impression that it's the kind of thing where you flip a light switch and immediately create a chunk of nuclear waste the size of the moon. But apparently my team explained to me that you can actually run every appliance in your house 24/7 for a year, and the total amount of nuclear waste that you will create from that would fit in a soda can. But I know what you guys are thinking, because I'm thinking the same thing. We've all come home drunk at night, opened the fridge to slam one last beer before we conk out, and then realize, hey, that wasn't beer, that was ranch, or that wasn't beer, that was mayonnaise, or, you know where I'm going with this. That wasn't beer, that was a dozen eggs. When we're drunk, we don't ask ourselves, the hard questions. Should I open my eyes? Should I slow down? Should I make sure what I'm swallowing matches what I intended to swallow? Does beer come packaged in 12 identically sized egg-shaped shells? But so my big hesitancy with nuclear waste has always been, I don't want to be the guy that sits down in his lazy boy, slams a beer, and then thinks, why did that taste so weird? It's because it's the nuclear waste that I use from making my appliances work 24/7 for a year. And I know that, I'm not the only idiot out there. I know if I made that mistake, other people will. And I feel that's all America needs, is for half the country to be walking around, as zombies because we drank nuclear waste. But my scientist team assured me that that is actually not a thing. Drinking nuclear waste does not turn you into a zombie. Scientists agree, but also people that are against nuclear power for reasons that make sense to them, even they agree with scientists that drinking nuclear waste does not make you a zombie. That's strictly something that that I came up with, I guess, just from watching sci-fi movies and not paying attention to what's going on, or I don't know. So rest assured, take that off your plate. That's not a problem. And then another thing that my team, Science Force 6000, that's the name of the scientists that I'm working with, they also explained to me that, if you do run your appliances for a year for 24/7, at the end of that year, the power company's not necessarily going to drive to your house and give you a can of nuclear waste. They will hold on to that, or they'll that's their responsibility. That's part of what power companies do. So, you don't have to worry about that. So, I guess my feeling after working with this team is that, if you have the opportunity to switch to nuclear power, I would go with it. So that's how I feel. Hey, you're a great audience. Yeah.